Personal safety tips for realtors. What all realtors should know about safety. Tip number 1. Keep it light. Show properties before dark. If you are going to be working after hours, advise your associate or first-line supervisor of your schedule. If you must show a property after dark, turn on all lights as you go through, and don't lower any shades or draw curtains or blinds. Tip number 2. Checking in. When you have a new client, ask him or her to stop by your office and complete a prospect identification form. Also, photocopy their driver's license and retain this information at your office. Be certain to properly discard this personal information when you no longer need it. Tip number 3. Don't be too public. Limit the amount of personal information you share. Consider advertising without using your photograph, home phone number, and/or home address in the newspaper or on business cards. Don't use your full name with middle name or initial. Use your office address, or list no address at all. Giving out too much of the wrong information can make you a target. Tip number 4. Touch base. Always let someone know where you are going and when you will be back. Leave the name and phone number of the client you are meeting and schedule a time for your office to call you to check in. Tip number 5. Block identity theft. Contact the fraud department of any of the 3 consumer reporting companies, Equifax, Experian SM, and TransUnion to place a fraud alert on your credit report. The fraud alert automatically lets credit card companies and other creditors know they must contact you before opening any new accounts or making any changes to your existing accounts. Tip number 6. Wear your realtor ID. Always wear visible company identification such as a badge. It is also best to drive a vehicle clearly marked with your company name. These will be invaluable for identification if you need to get assistance. Tip number 7. Pick up some self-defense skills. The best way to find a good self-defense class is to learn what is available, and then make a decision. Many health clubs, martial arts studios, and community colleges offer some type of class. You can also ask your peers, friends, and family if they have taken a self-defense class that they would recommend. Tip number 8. Shield your computer from email viruses. Computer viruses can impair and seriously damage your computer. Viruses are often distributed via attachments in email spam. Never open an attachment from someone you don't know, and, if you receive a strange or impersonal sounding message from a familiar address, check with that person to make sure that they really sent it. Tip number 9. Choose flight over fight. While every real estate agent should take a basic self-defense course, the primary goal in any threatening situation is to escape from immediate danger and call for help. Tip number 10. Who's calling? Install Caller ID on your telephone, which should automatically reject calls from numbers that have been blocked. This will provide you with immediate information about the source of the call. Tip number 11. Agree on an office distress code. Create a voice distress code, a secret word or phrase that is not commonly used but can be worked into any conversation for cases where you feel that you are in danger. Use this if the person you are with can overhear the conversation, but you don't want to alarm them. Example: Hi, this is Jennifer. I'm with Mr. Henderson at the Elm Street listing. Could you email me the red file? Tip number 12. Take 2 seconds when you arrive at your destination to check out potential dangers. Is there any questionable activity in the area? Are you parked in a well-lit, visible location? Can you be blocked in the driveway by another vehicle? Tip number 13. You are not alone. If you encounter an individual while working late or alone in your office, indicate to that person that you are not alone. Say something like, "Let me check with my supervisor to see whether she's able to see you now." Tip number 14. Don't get lost. If you are in an unfamiliar area, make mental notes of landmarks, points of interest, and intersections. And always know the exact address of where you are going. If you must use a GPS, then pull over and stop in a safe place first. Tip number 15. Careful with cash deposits. If you periodically carry large deposits to the bank, be especially aware of any strangers lurking around the office parking lot. If you must transport cash deposits, use the buddy system or arrange for a security service or a police escort. Tip number 16. Nothing personal. When talking to clients and prospects, be friendly but still keep your personal information private. This means avoiding mention of where you live, your after-work or vacation plans, and similar details. Tip number 17. Take 2 seconds as you walk towards your destination to check out potential risks. Are people coming and going, or is the area unusually quiet? Do you observe any obstacles or hiding places in the parking lot or along the street? Is anyone loitering in the area? Tip number 18. Don't dial and drive. Using a cell phone while driving can cause an accident. For driving safety, purchase a hands-free phone kit for your vehicle. And never attempt to take notes while driving. Pull over and stop in a safe place first. Tip number 19. Carry less. If you carry a purse, lock it in your car trunk before arriving at an appointment. Carry only non-valuable business items, except for your cell phone, and do not wear expensive jewelry or watches, or appear to be carrying large sums of money. Tip number 20. Keep it professional. All of your marketing materials should be polished and professional. Don't use alluring or provocative photography in advertising, on the web or on your business cards. There are many documented cases of criminals actually circling photographs of their would-be victims in newspaper advertisements. Tip number 21. Don't use the V word. When describing a listing, never say that a property is vacant. This may be an invitation to criminals.